they told me, we're really looking forward for you to come back. And we know that we might not be here when you come back to help us, but we're really hoping you'll be able to make a change for our children.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley in partnership with Leumi Tech and sponsored by Hippo Insurance, Turing, Upwest Labs, and Hillel at Stanford. Let's talk impact. Meet Sevda Memet, co-managing director of Cardinal Ventures. Sevda from Romania is pursuing a master's degree in business administration at Stanford Graduate School of Business and a master's degree in public policy at Stanford School of Humanities and Sciences as a Knight-Hennessy Scholar in the inaugural cohort of the scholarship program. She was awarded the 2018 10 Outstanding Young People of Romania and aspires to help cancer patients by creating the first oncological system in Romania that will focus on integrated medicine and genetic testing.
Sevda Memet, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Michael, for inviting me. I'm doing well, saying hi from Romania.
Yes, all the way from Romania. Well, traditionally we're both on the Stanford campus.
Exactly.
You are a Knight-Hennessy Scholar. And for those who don't know what it is, you're going to explain to us in a second because it's one of the greatest distinctions that one can get. It is the equivalent, I believe, of a Rhodes Scholar, but obviously much, much better. But Sevda, your background is so incredible, and your passion for helping people around the world, especially in the health systems and developing areas, is remarkable. And I just love the journey that you've had, both in Romania, working in the medical field, but then transitioning to Stanford to continue the research, and then not stopping there, but continuing to take part as either co-president or co-managing director of so many wonderful initiatives, one of which I love, Cardinal Ventures. So I've spoken enough. Sevda, tell me a little bit about your background, all the way back from Romania. How do you get started with this healthcare? Because I also imagine that it's not the most common for people for the average student in Romania to now go be a Knight-Hennessy Scholar, just like it is from any other country in the world. Usually, most of them are from the US.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for asking that, Michael. I graduated medical school in Romania, and just going to medical school was a personal decision. I lost my father early on in my childhood, and I think what I wanted was to, at that time, with the mind of a child, to prevent other people from just going through the same experiences. And I decided to go to medical school. And after 6 years, I became a resident in Hematology-Oncology and Rare Diseases. So that was itself a very challenging and literally a transformative experience, working with blood cancer patients, learning so many lessons from them, ranging from just being a patient, just being, I mean, all of them were, even though they were going through so many things that were definitely challenging for themselves and their families, they were always trying to stay positive and fight and never give up. So I learned so many great lessons from these patients. And I was truly blessed to be able to work with these people. I worked in Romania in the public healthcare system, and although there are positive things in the public healthcare system in our country, like the people and the human capital, I would say that there are also things that could be improved, such as infrastructure, access to new therapies, or more advanced testing, like genetic testing, for example, for oncology. And these were some of the things that I would have liked to offer my patients and increase the survival rates. And that's why I decided to come up with a solution myself. So I really hope and aspire to be building a cancer center that would be focusing on some of the things that I mentioned priorly. So that was my motivation to apply to Stanford and to the Knight-Hennessy Scholars Program. I had the chance to attend an info session about the Knight-Hennessy Scholars Program when I was visiting my sister in New York, almost 1 year before applying. And I remember up to this day, I was just hearing about how the program is looking for global leaders in different fields that will be addressing complex solutions. with creative, complex problems with creative solutions. And so to me, it sounded exciting, and the possibility to be in the same cohort with people across Stanford, to have that diversity and to have all those conversations that are spurred when scholars are in Denny House. I was definitely excited to apply, and after a process and an interview on campus at Stanford, that was also my first time visiting the campus. I was accepted in the inaugural cohort, and I got the chance to be in the same cohort with 50 other scholars that definitely have been the meeting them and working with them has been the highlight of my life at Stanford.
Incredible. No, I think first of all, the Knight-Hennessy program. I've yet to meet a program that is so impressive, both in the people that it brings into it, but also in the mentality of how it goes about. One of my best friends, Drew Bent, is also in the program, and I think that
It's one of my
it's
best
just
friends too.
so that means that we are best friends by the associative property, right? But I've gotten to see what's been happening there, and besides the fact that your building in your center is one of the most beautiful buildings I've seen. Knight and Hennessy, the two proponents of this program, are both legends, not only in the Silicon Valley but in the world, with the impact they've made, both Nike and with John Hennessy with Google and all his innovation in computer science. But tell me a little bit about the program more broadly, because I think one of the things that I love doing through this show is also exploring what opportunities people are pursuing, and what I think that this is, for example, a program that it might be relevant for application from a lot of the people that are watching this, but might not even know of its existence. So tell me a little bit about what the Knight-Hennessy program is, and what tools does it give the scholars as they go through it.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, it's a scholarship program that focusing on helping students, graduate students around the world to become leaders in their fields and equip them, as you said, with resources to tackle those complex problems I was mentioning.
Right.
People from all over the world apply, and the cohorts in the past 3 years have been increasing their numbers. So right now we are over 150 scholars in part of 3 cohorts. And the scholarship program is focusing on independence of thought and a civic mindset, and being curious, and being dedicated to, as I said, to advancing um, different solutions to aid our world. And scholars fields, they range from, as I said, healthcare to sustainability to astro.
Right.
So definitely a lot of fields, and all schools at Stanford are represented. We have masters, PhDs, and yeah, definitely regarding the resources. So we do have access to a network of mentors that are helping us navigate some of the things that we're planning to do at Stanford and after Stanford. We have
Right.
we have speaker series where industry experts, world leaders are invited to talk about different topics. We also have workshops. We had very ones that were were dear to me were the ethics workshop, or the negotiations one. And we've been having last quarter one on justice and social justice. So definitely a lot of topics are representing, trying to make the scholar sensitive to a lot of issues and things that are happening in the world. Also, I would say the biggest resource is just the network of scholars itself. These are all
Right.
people that are so humble, but yet doing so many things. I'm learning every day from all of them, and so um, this has been definitely an incredible
Incredible.
journey. And right now, we do have some alumni who graduated last year, and most of us will be graduating this year because the program is 3 years. We're looking forward to start this alumni base and hopefully contributing to the Stanford community and the world after the Stanford experience.
Incredible. So you're talking about how the people that you're with, that the network of the scholars is really one of the most impactful things that you have there. But I think you're also very, very humble, of course, and you were awarded in 2018 at the 10 outstanding young people of Romania, and you're aspiring to help cancer patients with oncological systems. So really, I mean, I think that everybody there is lucky to have you as part of that cohort. But Sevda, tell me a little bit more about the great initiatives that you're co-leading as a part of Stanford, whether it be the Cardinal Ventures, the Graduate Student Council, the 2021 Global Leaders and Innovators, and Human and Planetary Health Fellows. So tell me a little bit about your activities outside of doing 2 degrees and working on research. How do you even have time to do all that?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. Yes, I'm doing a lot of things on Stanford campus. I'm trying to manage my time between, as you said, being the co-managing director of Cardinal Ventures. Cardinal Ventures is Stanford's on-campus student-led accelerator. It is a nonprofit organization, and also it takes no equity in the startups we're helping to grow. The program itself is designed in 2 cohorts per year, fall and spring, 10 weeks. And in these 10 weeks, we're offering Stanford founders access to resources like mentoring, small grants, a network of alumni companies. Up to now, we have graduated in 5 years, more than 115 companies that have gone on. Yeah, and they have gone on to raise over $349 million in venture funding. So some of the most impressive solutions out there in biotech or fintech have been spurred out of Cardinal Ventures. So we're definitely very excited to be offering new founders the access to that network. Also, our sponsors and partners are offering resources to teams to grow their ideas. And at the end, it culminates with a demo day that's attended by hundreds of investors. We had to go virtual last quarter due to COVID. But we've been having an amazing crowd at demo day, and companies were able to just go into breakout rooms with these investors and take the conversations from there, and definitely start conversations about fundraising. So we're very excited about that. This is not an initiative I'm working myself alone, but I do have an amazing team that I'm working with, and I'm very grateful for what they're doing. They're most of them Stanford undergrads, and they've been working so hard during the summer, during all the quarters, to just make this program in a virtual world be as successful as it was in past years in person. We've been dedicating our time to that. So right now we're in the process of recruiting the spring 2021 cohort. Applications are open. We're definitely looking forward to that and to starting the program in the spring quarter. And yeah, and that's just for the other initiatives in the public policy program. Right now, I'm working again with an amazing team. We're trying to come up with solutions for equitable COVID-19 vaccine distribution in low and middle income countries. We're working with an international health organization to answer this question. And with Partners in Health, and we're hoping to be able to provide some recommendations to leaders in these countries to be able to make the vaccine accessible to the wider population. Another thing that I'm also focusing on is another research in the Stanford US-Russia Fellowship program. It's a program where we're working with students across countries, and definitely to increase research and collaboration between scholars from both US and Russia to advance areas of interest to both countries. and I'm working with a team of 2 graduate students from Russia, and we're part of the biotech of the biosecurity and public health group, and we're focusing on researching the biotech ecosystems in the 2 countries.
Wow. And that I'm just, each of these little snippets raises about 50 questions that I want to ask, but we only have about 5 minutes left, and I want to go back and make sure I really understand your passion and where you're headed, because you come to Stanford with the challenge of saying, I've experienced medical school and I was a resident in the hospital in rare diseases in Romania. And I've noticed that there are gaps that I want to be filling in. There's both research gaps, there's, managerial gaps. And now you go to Stanford, you're experiencing perhaps one of the most luxurious programs in the world with some of the some of the best people in the world. And your passion, as you stay there, is to advance cancer research, go back to Romania and promote some new and innovative ways that this can be done over there. Why so first of all, why go back to Romania? Why is that the passion to go back there and do it over there? And second, I would love to hear a little bit about your thought as to the future and how you see this as a greater vision in terms of cancer research and what needs to be done.
Yeah, sure. So, just coming back to Romania and helping the people here, I think this is a promise that I made to my patients when I was in the hospital, and as I said, I was working with patients that were dealing with leukemia or lymphomas. A lot of the time, I was reading about treatments that were offered or that were in trials in the United States or other Western European countries. So I was just thinking that I would like to for my patients to have access to that. And when I left the hospital to pursue the MBA, a lot of my patients congratulated me, and this is something that I'm still remembering and keeping in my mind up to today. That they told me, we're really looking forward for you to come back. And we know that we might not be here when you come back to help us, but we're really hoping you'll be able to make a change for our children. So for me, those were powerful words that I kept with me while I was at Stanford, and that kept me focused. So I think that for me would be to start in Romania and help, as I said, people here because it is much needed. But I would also like to just expand the model to other Eastern European countries, and why not to other countries around the world that definitely need access to better care in the cancer area. One thing that I'm really passionate about, and I've been also looking and researching while at Stanford, is palliative care. I think these are some of the tools that we really need in our country to be part of our public healthcare system. And around the world, as I was looking to other countries as well, in one of my papers, it is a much needed service that's not available everywhere. So for me, that would be one area that I would really like to advance.
Now, is the challenge here mainly, knowledge, expertise, and building that relationship with going back to Romania, or are there different challenges that you're expecting you're gonna have to tackle as you go over there,
Yeah.
besides just gaining the knowledge of what trials and what medicines could be attempted?
Yeah, so there are so many things that I learned at Stanford and about healthcare systems around the world. I had the chance in business school to travel to Japan and see how Japan is innovating in an aging society and also addressing chronic diseases. So they really moved a lot of the services to home care. They really do have this concept of community integrated care, where the community acts as the main signaling factor when something goes wrong with people in that community. So definitely these are some really interesting things that I think could work in Romania as well. But challenges, I would say that a lot of the times are just integrating with the national healthcare system. We do have a universal care here in Romania, but I would like my organization, what I am building in the future, not to be separated from the public healthcare system, because a lot of the people in our country are addressing the services in the public healthcare system. So finding ways of integrating these two would definitely be a challenge, but also an opportunity to open up avenues for this type of partnerships. And definitely, I think another one would be just training the people in some areas that they did not have access to get trained to. And here I'm talking about nurses and physicians. So I would definitely enjoy a collaboration through the network I built at Stanford and in the US for people to get access to some training materials that doctors and nurses here in the country have access to.
I love it. Sevda, I think that the mission is remarkable. The journey is inspiring. Your humble mindset and the way that you're approaching this, and obviously the mission that the mission and the words that you carry with you, the you can feel the power and the force even through a virtual Zoom. It's you can just feel it, and it got me emotional as well. So thank you for sharing that, and I wish you best of luck in your journey. I can't wait to see all the amazing things that you're going to do, both with the research, but also with the business side, and putting everything together, and helping people around the world. And I really really appreciate that, and I appreciate the inspiration mainly that I'm getting from this, and that my friends watching this are getting from this. So thank you very much. And the most important question that I have to ask is 3 words that you would use to describe yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I think one would be curious. I'm always curious to learn more and from people around me. The other one would be, I think, social, in the sense that I love being surrounded by people and, as I said, learning from them. And the third word would be hardworking. I think I'm always trying to stay focused, and yeah. So those would be some words for me.
I love it. Sevda, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I can't wait to see you back on Stanford's campus.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
Take care.